The market going on a little bit of a roller coaster after President Trump announced the pausing of most tariffs. Again, do not look at your 401k. The lone exception being China, though, which now faces, in effect, a 145% tariff for their refusal to negotiate. And China responded in kind with 125%. Let's just go to 200, 300, doesn't matter, right? So what does all this mean for you and me? Well, Steve Lucey is a fifth-generation cattle rancher. We're also joined by Hillary Fordwich, president of Straumark LLC, and they both join me now. I can tell which one is the rancher, the guy with the hat there, and I love that. Now, China in particular is hitting back. They say they're not going to go higher than the 125%. But Hillary, do you think China will eventually get on board, kind of like the rest of the world, and start negotiating directly with the U.S.? I mean, who has more leverage right now?
Well, Rob, yes, let's hope they do capitulate like the rest of the world. Like, for example, the EU has capitulated. And also there's another factor here, and that is that China is very isolated. It's not as if everybody's jumping on board with them. Korea is now negotiating with us. Japan is negotiating with us. India is negotiating with us. So everyone that's even close to Asia and in Asia, the Australians, everyone else has come to their senses, has either capitulated and or was fair in the first place. So really what they're doing is they're isolating themselves. Now, what they're also trying to do, they've got to have somewhere else for their goods to go. You just asked who's in the stronger position. Of course, the US is. We are the #1 consumer in the world. We actually consume 5 times more of their goods than they do of ours. So what are they trying to do? They're actually trying to flood the European market. And you can just imagine how the German car manufacturers are responding to that. That's why they put the pressure on Ursula von der Leyen so that she would capitulate to become even. And I would say this, you know, obviously, Steve is the rancher, I'm the golfer, fourth generation golfer. I'm wearing Masters clothes today. It's the Masters. Your golf apparel also comes from China. So it's going to affect many other things, beef and many other products. So let's just hope they do indeed come in line with the rest of the world.
And just for the record, I think Bryson DeChambeau is going to win it, but that's for another day. So China, one of the largest purchasers of U.S. beef, they love their beef in China. So Steve, how are you and other ranchers planning to kind of navigate all these levies where they go up and down? And more importantly, what happens if China kind of cuts it off? Where do you make up that difference?
Well, one way we can make up that difference is by not importing a lot of other beef. We have a cattle herd right now that is the lowest it has been since 1950. So there's not a lot of ranchers left in this country like there used to be. So our herd is low due to economic factors. We've had a lot of high inputs over the last few years. There's been a lot of drought out west. My friends out west understand this, and they've had to cut their herd because of that. So if we just stop importing cheap beef and people buy wholesome, healthy American beef, then our market's still going to be there. And I think, you know, we can overcome China's market if, say, someone like Australia, which does not take $1 of our beef from us, would open up to us. And some of the European Union that, you know, you talked about non-monetary trade barriers, you know, they've got a lot of green ideas there. They think we don't know what we're doing on that aspect. But I can tell you that as being here for 5 generations, we know what we're doing with our environment. And if we do not take care of our environment first, then we do not have a business. So we are the best stewards there are in the world for our environment here in this country, raising cattle.
Very well said. Hopefully some, of the wackadoos in San Francisco will understand that. Steve, good to talk to you. Hillary, great to be with you again. Thanks, guys.
Yes, you too. Thank you, Rob. Bye, Steve.